Building. Construction complete. Cannot deploy unit. New construction options. Construction complete. Cannot deploy unit. Building. Unit ready. Training. 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 Unit ready.
Permanent.
Training. Unit ready. Training. Unit ready. Training. Unit ready. Training. Unit ready.
Permanent. Reporting. Permanent.
Construction complete. New construction options. Building. Unit lost.
Got it. Permanent. Permanent.
Training. Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit lost.
Roger. Ready and ready.
Training.
Got it.
Unit ready. Training. Unit ready.
Yep. Right away, sir.
Construction complete. New construction options. Building. Building.
Waiting. Got it. Waiting. Reporting. You got it. Right away, sir.
Construction completed. Building. Unit ready. Building.
Acknowledge.
Unit ready. Building.
Acknowledge. Affirmative. Waiting
Unit
order.
lost. Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Construction complete. Building.
Vehicle reporting.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready.
Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Building.
Affirmative.
Insufficient funds.
Affirmative. Reporting. Waiting orders. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Construction complete. New construction options. Unit ready. Building.
Waiting orders. Waiting orders. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Waiting orders, sir.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Waiting acknowledge. Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Yes, acknowledge. Report knowledge. Acknowledge.
Unit ready.
Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Waiting order. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. 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 Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, sir. We acknowledge. Vehicle reporting. Reporting. Affirmative. 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 Yes, affirmative.
New construction options. Very powerful.
Yes,
Building.
affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Waiting order. Yes. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Building.
Acknowledge. Affirmative. 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 Report. You got it. Yes, sir.
Building.
Vehicle reporting. Reporting. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Right away, sir. Got it. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Building.
Waiting order.
Unit lost.
Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Vehicle reporting. Ready and wait. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Wait. Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Vehicle reporting.
Construction complete.
Acknowledge.
Building.
Vehicle reporting. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledge. Waiting order. Acknowledge. Affirmative. 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 Vehicle affirmative. Acknowledge. 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 Yes, affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
Unit lost. Unable to comply.
Waiting
Building
order.
in progress. Building.
Affirmative. Waiting order.
Unit ready.
Reporting. Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Construction complete.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Building.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Waiting. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Vehicle acknowledge. Vehicle reporting. Waiting order. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Building.
Yes, affirmative. Acknowledge.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Construction complete.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready. New construction options. Training.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Reporting. Acknowledge. You got it. Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Insufficient funds.
Acknowledge. Yes, affirmative. Reporting.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Waiting order.
Oh, diggity.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Waiting order.
Unit ready.
Waiting. Acknowledge. Yes, affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Reporting. Waiting order. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Waiting order. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Report. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledge. Yes, acknowledge. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledge. Yes, acknowledge.
Building.
Yes, affirmative.
On hold. Cancel.
Yes, acknowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Right away, sir. Yes, sir. Reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit
Yes,
ready.
affirmative. Acknowledge.
Building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Reporting. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Unit ready.
Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Building. On hold. Cancel. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, affirmative. Yes, acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. 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 Affirmative. Affirmative.
Construction complete. Unit lost.
Reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative. Waiting. Acknowledge.
I hear you.
Yes, acknowledge. Acknowledge. Waiting orders. Affirmative. Yes, acknowledge. Acknowledge. Yes, acknowledge. 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 Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Unit ready. Building. Unit lost.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit
Reporting.
ready.
Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
Unit
Yes, sir.
ready.
Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Vehicle acknowledge.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. 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 Acknowledge.
Unit
Yes,
lost.
affirmative. Yes, sir. Reporting. Acknowledge.
Unit lost.
Waiting orders. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, acknowledge.
See? I'm in my range.
Wait. Acknowledge. 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 Yes, affirmative. Yes, sir. Vehicle reporting. Yes, affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Waiting order. Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledge. Waiting order. Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
Unit
No.
ready.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Waiting orders. Acknowledge. Vehicle yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Waiting orders. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes,
Unit ready.
acknowledge.
Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Vehicle acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Building.
Waiting orders. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes,
Unit ready.
affirmative. Vehicle acknowledge. Reporting. Affirmative. Vehicle acknowledge. Waiting affirmative. Vehicle report. Acknowledge. Waiting. Affirmative. 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 Waiting order. Waiting. Affirmative.
Base under attack.
Reporting. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Unit lost. Building.
Waiting orders. Affirmative. Waiting orders.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Waiting order. Knowledge. Affirmative.
Building.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Building. Infantry. Funds. On hold.
Affirmative. Ready and waiting. Awaiting knowledge. Awaiting order. Affirmative.
Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Waiting order. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Vehicle reported. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Reporting. Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Awaiting order. Report. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Report. Yes, sir.
Construction complete. Building.
Reporting. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Waiting order. Reporting. Reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Awaiting order. Yes, sir. Vehicle reporting. Reporting. Reporting.
Structure
Vehicle
sold.
reporting. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Waiting order. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Report. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Waiting order. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Reporting. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. reporting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Report affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Yes, affirmative. Affirmative.
Insufficient
Yes,
funds.
sir.
Yes, sir. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Awaiting reporting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Construction
Yes,
complete.
acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. With affirmative.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
I'll get my ring.
Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
I'll get my ring.
Yes, affirmative. Reporting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Waiting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Reporting. Acknowledged. Waiting order. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, acknowledged. Reporting. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged.
Unit
Affirmative.
lost.
Affirmative. Reporting. Acknowledged. Waiting order. Acknowledged. Yes, acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, waiting order. Yes. Yes, sir. Yes. Got it. Affirmative. Got it. Yes. Yes. Yes, acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Waiting order. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Report. Acknowledged. Yes, affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Waiting order. Affirmative. Yes, affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, acknowledged.
Unit
Affirmative.
lost.
Acknowledged. No. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, affirmative. 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 Yes. Yes, sir.
Unit
Acknowledged.
ready.
Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. 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 Reporting. Yes, acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Waiting order. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Waiting order. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Waiting orders. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Waiting order. Affirmative. Yes, affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
I hear you.
Yes, sir. Reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Waiting. Acknowledged. Waiting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, yes, sir. Waiting. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Reported. Affirmative.
Base under attack.
Waiting.
Unit
Affirmative.
lost.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Building.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Vehicle Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
Unit
Acknowledge.
ready.
Yes, affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Acknowledge.
Building.
Vehicle
Acknowledge.
reporting.
Acknowledge.
Yes, sir.
Affirmative. Awaiting order. Acknowledge. Vehicle
ready.
acknowledge. Acknowledge. Awaiting order. Acknowledge. Vehicle reporting.
Building.
Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Reporting. Acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Reporting.
Acknowledge. Vehicle
Unit
reporting.
ready.
Ready and waiting.
I hear you.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
Vehicle reporting.
Yes. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Building.
Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Waiting. Affirmative.
Unit
Acknowledge.
ready.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Building.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Unit ready.
Reporting. Acknowledge.
Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Yes, affirmative. Acknowledge. 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 Acknowledge.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Reporting. Acknowledge. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Reporting.
Acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Acknowledge.
Affirmative.
Building.
Vehicle reporting.
Acknowledge.
Yes, sir.
Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Yes, sir.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Unit lost. Building.
Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Yes.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Acknowledge. Vehicle
Unit
reporting
lost.
orders. Acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Reporting.
Acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Yes, sir.
Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Vehicle affirmative.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
Reporting. Acknowledge.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Affirmative.
sir.
Vehicle affirmative. Awaiting order. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Acknowledge.
Affirmative.
Construction
Affirmative.
complete. New construction options.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Dig it.
Yes, sir.
Building. Building.
Affirmative.
I'm getting my way.
Yes, vehicle
Unit
reporting.
lost.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready.
Yes, sir. Waiting order. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
Construction
Waiting order.
complete.
Acknowledge. Affirmative. Waiting. Affirmative. 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 Yes, sir.
Acknowledge.
Report. Affirmative.
Building.
Reporting.
Acknowledge.
Affirmative. 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 Report. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Yes, affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Acknowledge.
Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Yes, affirmative. Acknowledge. 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 Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Waiting order.
Acknowledge.
Vehicle report. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Yes, sir.
Building.
Acknowledge. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Acknowledge.
Unit
Waiting
ready.
order. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
ready.
Reporting.
Building.
Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Yes, acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Unit
Acknowledge.
ready.
Vehicle reporting.
Acknowledge.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Yes, sir.
Affirmative.
Mission accomplished.